All right, friends, it's T-Man, and we're gonna do a Blaha video, bro. That's that. Hey, man. Let's see what Blaha has to say here today. The gym, lifting, recruiting, fitness slave himself. Gonna do a reaction video to Blaha's video. Blaha says weight training is the best exercise for health according to science. Okay, let's find out.
Weight training is the best exercise you can do according to scientists and doctors. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blah here, and I thought I would chat with you guys.
It is the best exercise. It is, Blaha. I agree with you. According to doctors and everything, it's the best exercise. It's good to exercise. Better not to. It's better to exercise than do nothing at all. That's for sure. But it depends on the exercise that you're doing. You see what I mean? You could be just exercising yourself for no reason.
Guys and gals, a little bit about this today. So again, one of these topics where there's still confusion out there. A lot of people do not keep up with the research. They don't keep up with meta-analysis. They don't keep up with what the top researchers are.
Yeah, I have a question for you. What are the health benefits? Let's say in lifting, this type of exercise, lifting. I'm not talking about exercise, doing body stuff, running around the park, jumping around, doing weird stuff. Let's talk about lifting weights. Okay, I don't know if you can consider that exercise, but okay, whatever. They call it exercise. So we have concentric and eccentric. What are the health benefits when it comes to eccentric? What are the health benefits when it comes to concentric? If they say there's health benefits there involved, right? I mean, you know what I mean? There's health benefits. Now, I know an eccentric exercise, if you have taken on some damage, then it will definitely remove these senescent cells, these zombie cells. So that can have a health benefit. There's other factors there too. It can remove a lot of things, viruses, a bunch of stuff if they're activated. The T cells are activated in your body during this damaging phase. Can it wear off myogenic decline? Yes, because it increases the satellite cell pool. It does a bunch of stuff. It can regenerate certain things in your body, regenerate new muscles, new cells, myonuclei, myofibrillars, a bunch of stuff, fibers, even your ligaments and tendons. They too go through a type of remodeling and stuff, regeneration. So I don't know. Are these health benefits? Well, yeah, if they're kind of like going away, I guess. It can regenerate. Now, what can concentric do that? No, it can't. See, the concentric cannot regenerate you. Can it make you stronger at moving these weights around? Definitely, yeah. It has some benefits there, making you stronger, motor units, recruitment, some androgen receptors for force production, somewhere for the androgens to bind, maybe synthesizing some more protein there too as well. I mean, if there's more androgens binding with the muscle fibers, it can synthesize proteins, giving you some mass on your body. Again, there's a dependency. The hormone binding, this, that, and the amount of nuclei that you have. I mean, there's a bunch of things that are going on there. But we don't want to just generate mass. You understand me? We want to generate mass, maybe some mass, but we want myofibrillar growth, man. You understand me? We want real muscle. We don't want to do any fake stuff. And we certainly don't want our muscles to expand through the sarcoplasm exponentially massive and then there's nothing there. You know what I mean? There's no myofibrillar growth at all. But anyway, yeah, they all have their own health benefit. I guess you could call it health benefit. They all have their own benefits.
Saying and have been saying for a very, very long time. So I'm going to address it for you guys. And again, I'm not going to cite all this stuff. You guys can go dig it up. It's actually...
Here's the thing. Even though you're doing all those things, this lifting and all that stuff, if you're eating poisonous food, like food full of oxalates and fructose, and drinking tap water with chlorine and fluoride, and swimming in pools with chlorine, and bleaching your skin with all these body washes and soaps all day, and your hair and everything, man, 24/7 every single day, and brushing your teeth with like more fluoride, whatever, toothpaste. All these kind of weird chemicals, drinking Coca-Cola, sodas with like, I don't know, what's in Coke, phosphoric acid, fucking dissolve your bones and shit. So all these like weird things, can that be healthy? No, absolutely not. So it wouldn't matter what you're doing in the exercise world if you're eating absolutely unhealthy. So where does health really come from? What you eat. In the natural world, it has nothing to do with your body moving around doing anything. It has everything to do with what you eat. For it to function properly, it has nothing to do with exercise. People will make up excuses and say, well, I got old or something, or I can't move around because I was a couch potato. No, that had nothing to do with you being a couch potato. It had everything to do with you laying on the couch, but eating those potato chips. Get it? What made you into a couch potato? By you being on the couch and watching TV, if you're eating natural food, is not going to affect you. You wouldn't need to exercise or do anything. That's why healthy people that eat healthy, they don't like lifting weights. They don't like going to gyms. They don't like exercise. They don't want anything to do with stress or stressing themselves out because they know that will shorten their lifespan. You understand me? That shortens your lifespan. The more stress, the more inflammation you get, whatever, yada, yada, will shorten your lifespan. See what I mean? There is a relative amount of inflammation in eccentric exercise, but that is a necessity for the regeneration part. That has nothing to do with chronically inflaming yourself doing exercise. You understand me? There's a difference.
Pretty overwhelming at this point.
So that can't
like
be
this
healthy.
isn't even really a real debate. This is so heavily covered. So I think.
So tell me, Blaha lifts every day, inflaming his muscles, inflammatory response, hypoxia, and oxidative stress. So can that be healthy for you? Absolutely not. You see what I mean? There's always a price to pay, man. There's always a price to pay.
For most people, if they simply just start Googling studies and meta-analysis, they'll be shocked. They'll be shocked at all the stuff they've.
I did. I've Googled all these analyses, meta-analyses, and everything. I've read through so much stuff, man. It's my head's starting to hurt. Okay, Blaha, please. We are lucky we have the internet in this generation now. This generation has internet, all this kind of stuff, whatever. When I was growing up, there was no internet. The internet, the first time I ever got on the internet was late in, I think, 1997. That was the first time I got on there. And it was very crude at the time. But, I mean, there was stuff there, but there wasn't anything like there is now. And especially when YouTube came out. YouTube is now really dynamic. I mean, it's even better than ever. But the fact that the search engines, they're so much better. I didn't even know about PubMed or NCBI. I didn't know about these things. I used to look in books for answers. I read this thing once on satellite cells in a book, in a library. I looked for every answer when it came to building muscle. I was obsessed. I had to know what built muscle. You know, the thing is, we're not built with knowledge. We're trying to figure it out. The whole point is, because of the failure in the gym, you're constantly failing. It's never building. You're never building. You're just failing constantly. And so you're telling yourself, you're going, yeah, I need the answer, man. What is the answer? How do I build? What builds muscle? But what really builds strength and muscle? What kind of muscle? Where can I find the answers? And I would look at libraries and books and everything. And I look at people at the gym, and they did talk about like eccentric exercise. Eventually, some people would mention some stuff, and then I would see them doing these slow eccentrics, and they go, well, you have to do these slow eccentrics, or you have to do a lot of stuff that you're unaccustomed to doing. Like if you haven't done these pull-ups, you have to do them now, or you have to do this and do that. And I was like, okay. They had a very good idea back then, but they still didn't understand it. And me personally, I had an idea. Yeah, eccentric was important, but I could never eke out the damage like I could doing a full upper body workout for some reason. The first time I did a full upper body workout, I was sore for like 4 days. And I was, what is this? But in my mind, I was doing a full body workout because in my head, I was going to start eating down at the buffet after the workout. And I thought it would, shuffle all these nutrients and protein in there, and the muscle would just magically grow. That was in the back of my mind. I didn't really understand the concept of myofibrillar growth to this mass and everything. Didn't really understand the concept quite wasn't quite there. But I knew, and then I knew I couldn't work out for the whole week. And so I just constantly ate, and I thought, okay, I feel really sore and I'm in pain. Maybe this is a growing stage or something. So I just kept eating like crazy all day, buffets, this, that. And then I noticed I got bigger and stronger. The weights felt lighter. I kept going heavier and heavier. And at that time, I still was doing like a kind of what you would call a full range of motion. But because I was doing an upper body workout, I would stick to a 5x10 plan, 5x10 repetition plan. I was still able to eke out this damage until at some point I could not eke out anymore. I think I was like at 255 pounds or something, and I just couldn't get any more. It was just so hard to get more damage. And then I realized, wait a second. maybe if I just go heavier on the eccentric, I know I can lift heavier. I could pull all these stacks. Like, this doesn't make any sense. And then I was able to bust through that plateau, and I went all the way to 285. And I thought I could have even got even bigger to 300. But because I had to move away, I stopped and I moved away. So I stopped at the body weight of 285. Now, I'm not saying that is all myofibrillar growth. Of course not. There's some mass, there's some myofibrillars, and there's some sarcoplasm. There's the sarcoplasm, of course, too, expands. Because I was also eating potatoes, but I knew that potatoes would increase this anabolic effect through insulin. It increases insulin. There's an anabolic effect. It helps to shuffle the nutrients into the muscle cells, making them bigger, so forth and so on, make you bigger, stronger. So I kind of learned all these things along the way as I was going through the bodybuilding world. But I stopped bodybuilding, or whatever you want to call it, building my body in the millennium, because I moved away. And so I never touched the weight for more than a decade, until I got back, until I had this problem in the last 10 years ago or whatever. I had this problem, this nerve problem, and then I go to the gym and start using the gym as rehabilitation and stuff, whatever. So I got more into it. But as I kept reading more and more about the science, I realized, wow, eccentric exercise has so many benefits. Getting rid of senescent cells, it can reverse aging by removing these senescent cells. The more you remove, the more damaging bouts you take on, the more you're able to remove these senescent cells, increase the satellite cell pool, wearing off myogenic decline, a whole bunch of stuff. Those things, I didn't know those things. You understand? I didn't know the power of eccentrics until I started studying it in PubMed, NCBI. I go, oh my God, this has so many benefits, superior to concentric in every way, bro. I was like, what? It's crazy. So there you go. You learn as you go along. You master it. You understand me? On your own. You master it on your own. There's a lot of people out there who have never mastered bodybuilding at all whatsoever. They think it's about some fake guy injecting something and going on a stage. That is not bodybuilding.
So here's what we know based upon a few different things. All right, the ones that were contested, we know most health benefits. It's been known for 10 to 20 years. Strength training is the best form of exercise for most health benefits.
Okay, what is strength training? Concentric or eccentric? Which one's strength training? They say eccentric is superior for rehab, for regenerating, even if you're in an atrophy state. If you're a sick person, one bout of eccentric exercise will put you in a protein synthesis state for quite a long time. Could be over a month even. Wow, it could take you just one bout. That's crazy. Well, one bout of concentric exercise ain't going to do jack shit. You understand me? Because it's not going to damage anything. So it's not going to activate the growth factor. It's not going to do anything. So that's how powerful eccentric exercise is. That's what I realized. Now I came to realization. I was like, I was fooling around a couple of years back with friends in the gym, lifting concentrically, doing weird shit. But I knew that was the wrong thing to do. See what I mean? But it's been quite a long time since I've ever done like real eccentric exercises. I haven't even done them on my channel. You understand? I haven't even done them on my channel yet, like real eccentrics. I've done some, post like some few things I posted, doing like some eccentric stuff, but I didn't post a lot. But I probably, if I get a gym now and I find a place where I can, make some videos of it, I probably will post it, yeah.
Years. Strength training is the best form of exercise for most health benefits. There were a few that were questioned, primarily cardiovascular health. Right? Cardiovascular health.
Yeah, gravity makes you strong. I suggest stop sitting down and stand, doing everything standing. I do pretty much a lot of stuff standing. And even when I'm in the gym, all my exercise, I'm standing. I never do anything seated.
And fat loss. Okay. However, more recent studies.
Okay. There are some that I might, like my rear delts, I will pull the weight down to the floor so I can do these crossovers. You understand me? That's about it. There's a few things that I do where I have to pull the weight down and I'm actually laying somewhat on my back, pulling the weight in the opposite direction. Yeah, there are a few exceptions, but most of the exercises should be compounded. But you'll figure it out because, remember, we're trying to use the maximal amount of weight for the most amount of damage that we can get out of that exercise. And we don't get injured doing eccentric overload exercise because we initiate with the concentric, but it's not for a full concentric. Remember that, because we're overloading the eccentric.
These have actually shifted those considerably in terms of the evidence. So one that had come out, I think it was around 4 years ago, there was a pretty big meta-analysis that was looking at all the health markers and health improvements based upon, say, comparing cardiovascular type exercises with strength training, okay, in terms of cardiovascular outcomes. So people say, well, you're lifting, but you still have to care about your heart. Well, it was studied. And I want to be clear, I do cardio. I advocate cardio. So for anyone who says, oh, Blah's being anti-cardio over here. No, not being anti-cardio. I do cardio. All right. But when it was compared.
Yeah. If you lift weights, you're doing cardio. That's cardio. Yeah.
In terms
I know. He runs around in the street in a vest, right? Ridiculous.
of overall heart health and reducing heart attacks, reducing strokes.
But the problem with Blaha is all of his exercises are concentric. How can he increase the cellular matrix? How can he have some morphological architectural changes in his body? His chest, look at it. It's all concentric. There's no eccentric exercise here to change the structure of his body. That's why it looks like 85-year-old pumpkin. It's ridiculous.
Strength training beat cardio by a very, very small margin. Okay, and I mean it was very small. It was statistically significant amount, but it wasn't by much. So realistically, that means they're almost identical, with heart health appearing to have a very, very small, slight benefit from strength.
Exercise does not make your heart healthy. Food makes your heart healthy. If you eat bad food, you'll have an unhealthy heart. You are what you eat. So if you eat garbage, you'll become like garbage. You'll be unhealthy.
Training versus cardio, if you only did one. Now, the caveat. So that makes it clearly better. The caveat was they found that people who do both actually improve further, because it appears they're not exclusive pathways by which they help. In other words, endurance training and lower intensity cardio, moderate intensity cardio actually seems to improve your heart health through some slightly different pathways. Okay, you see where we're going? So in that case, it actually turns out to be beneficial to do both. Like that was actually the best outcomes, even more so when people eat a healthy, balanced diet. Oh man, there was your real winner. Okay, see where we're going with this? Lifting weights, doing cardio, and eating a balanced, healthy diet. Oh, that was the trifecta. Yeah, that was the trifecta. And maintaining a leaner body fat. Oh, but that kind of comes back to our other stuff. So let's talk about that. Fat loss. Fat loss. We've always known improving body composition, strength training, hands down king. There is no debate on this, by the way. No debate. We know that jogging and running and getting on your Stairmaster doesn't build significant muscle. We know lifting weights builds significant muscle. Right? The only way you gain more muscle than lifting weights is when anabolic drugs are added to lifting weights. So in terms of muscle gain and changing body composition, yeah, strength.
With him, it's all about drugs. Then what's the point of lifting if you need drugs? If it's all about drugs, then what's the point? Doesn't make any sense.
Training was king. Weightlifting, absolutely king. No debate about that. But what about the fat?
Yes, I will agree with him. Weightlifting is king, but weightlifting comes in two parts. See what I mean? One has more benefits than the other. One is more superior than the other. I'm going to tell you right now, eccentric is more superior than concentric. It does much more.
Fat loss only. Well, when a long-term fat loss was looked at, right? Because when I only look at the short-term cardio, seems to, it's like, well, you can burn through more calories doing cardio, particularly if you're new to the gym, right? It's hard to do high workloads of training when you're new to the gym in terms of lifting, so you don't burn that many calories. Okay.
The question is this, that whole concentric lifting, what he's doing here, this power lifting, when are you ever going to use that? When are you ever going to use that? You're going to use that to lift a sofa? You're going to need help. You're going to always need help to move things around. See what I mean? Yeah.
However, when studies started tracking it in meta-analysis,
I'm just saying, regardless, you're going to need help. There's always people helping. But I mean, whatever. I mean, I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I'm just saying, man, you know what I mean?
people who do a year or longer, we start getting into the long term when they're matched head to head. The
Like
same.
you're asking me personally, I think it's better if you increase your natural strength. You understand me? By increasing the myofibulars in your body in series, in parallel, a bunch of stuff. Okay. So that's just, again, that's based on my opinion and some facts. Okay. Scientific facts. Okay. It has benefits. All right.
Amount of time spent weightlifting per week versus doing cardio resulted in pretty much equal fat loss. Okay, and here's why. Higher metabolic rate. Okay, people who gain muscle
Yeah.
burn more calories all the time, and it takes months to build significant muscle. So in the short term,
Okay. What type of muscle are you building? Is this like mass or myofibular? What are you building? He keeps saying you're building muscle, but concentric exercise, what he's doing here, doesn't build muscles. Lifting that up in the air is not damaging your muscle. Look at him.
the cardio can do a little better, but when it starts being taken up
See, lift up, right, against gravity. Now, watch what does he do with the weight?
to a year or
Boom, he bounced it all the way down. He dropped it. Didn't do anything. He got zero eccentric. What's the point?
longer, when they're compared, the fat loss is similar, but we come back over to improved body composition. What's the caveat here? Similar fat loss, but eating.
Now you know why all lifting people in the gym have failed? Because that's all of you lifting concentrically, and then you don't do any eccentric work. That's why you're all failures, and then you're crying about fake natties, steroid users, or people cheating, lifting this, that, whatever, something, blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying there are some people out there, they're smart enough to know they do eccentric exercise. They're pretty brutally strong. I've met them in the past. And I'm telling you right now, all you people have failed at lifting. You understand me? You have never reached that goal. It's like everything in life. Once you reach that goal, the goal is over. Once you've reached the goal, it's like, okay, it's obtainable. You understand how to get there. See what I mean? I've reached that goal. For me to keep trying to reach the same goal again is crazy. That's like asking Michael Jordan to come out of retirement and prove to us that you're a champion again. What do you mean? He's got like fucking numerous champion rings. Hello? They fit more than on one hand. He doesn't need to prove himself over and over and over forever and ever. Again and again, if he doesn't want to. If he wanted to, okay. But he doesn't want to. You understand me?
Slightly more food. Ooh, they don't have.
He's moved on. He's doing other stuff. I don't know, golf, this, that. I think he tried to play baseball after for a while. He did a bunch of other stuff, man. He's a busy guy. People are busy. Blaha, he's stuck here forever because he's enslaved himself to something that he's never really figured it out. He's never really accomplished it. He got fat. He got skinny. He got good at, he didn't even get good at lifting these. He has to inject chemicals to lift these heavy weights. So that doesn't count either. So I don't know what he's doing here.
Have to restrict themselves as much. All right.
So
Now,
does that have health benefits if you inject steroids, toxic steroids in your butt, and then you go you go exercise with these weights, exercise yourself with weights. Weights are exercising you. Is this healthy? Because Blah says this is healthy. I don't know.
that was the overall meta-analysis. They did find in a single study, to my knowledge, so again, take it with a grain of salt, done only on women, and I think, I could be wrong, I think the women were all over age 30. Okay, when that group was looked at, weight training was slightly superior to cardio.
That's not what I heard. I heard when women do eccentric exercise, it has massive amounts of benefits, especially when it comes to women doing eccentric exercise. But women, they don't realize that. They haven't figured that out because follow the leader. Monkey see, monkey do. Concentric exercise lifting, get it? No benefit.
For fat loss, just straight up. Now, that hasn't, to my knowledge, been replicated in other groups, other demographics, or larger studies. So making a note that was there, but that counts as absurdly weak evidence because it's a single study.
Okay.
But just noting that that did occur. But overall, on average, pretty similar, but we get better body composition, all this other stuff. So what about the other stuff? People say, well, how is this clearly better? It's only a hair better for cardiovascular health, pretty much equal for fat loss with a bias towards better body composition, not just fat loss. Okay, the body composition is big. All right.
Law's body hasn't changed since he's been lifting. He loves exercising himself to death. Exercise. He's an exercise guy.
The other stuff destroys it.
And exercise ages you because every time you exercise, you inflame, you age. You age. Every time you lift, inflammatory response, you age. They call this inflammaging. Inflammaging. You understand me? What's that inflammaging? Let's see. Inflammaging. Let's see what we got here. Does lift... Inflammatory effects on high and moderate intensity exercise. Intense, long exercise can lead to, in general, to higher levels of inflammatory mediators and thus might increase the risk of injury. That too, and then there's inflammaging. So, no. Inflammaging. Fuck. Inflammaging. While exercise initially triggers an acute inflammatory response, regular exercise can actually help combat inflammaging. Oh, it can help combat it. Chronic low-grade inflammation associated with aging, by reducing fat mass, improving immune function. Okay, interesting. As far as I know, it has something to do with inflammation, but whatever. Regular exercise reduces fat and adipose tissue inflammation. But if you're eating your natural diet, you don't need to reduce fat and mass and all this weird stuff, whatever the hell they're talking about here, adipose tissue inflammation, which is known to contribute to systematic inflammation. Whatever, man. I don't know what they're talking about. Exercise, inflammation, and aging. Yeah, it's aging you. Inflammation it'll age you.
According to Wikipedia, inflammaging is a chronic, sterile, low-grade inflammation that develops with advanced age, in the absence of overt infection, and may contribute to clinical manifestations of other age-related pathologies.
He's aging, and he's exercising, and he's causing chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation is still through exercise. Chronic inflammation can lead to further inflammation. Yeah, I know that. Inflammatory thoughts, migrating, inflammaging. Yeah, inflammatory effects can help mitigate inflammaging. Okay. I don't know. If they say that, well, that's fine. But there's still something going on there. I'd have to go through the whole thing again. I can't remember now. Acute inflammation. Inflammation still ages you. It causes aging. I'd have to go through the whole thing, man. I don't want to. Evidence that exercise can both cause and attenuate inflammation. Okay, it can cause it and it can attenuate it. So yeah, man, I don't know. Here's one. Unaccustomed exercise can cause muscle and connective tissue damage. Yeah, we already know that, especially if done at high intensities and for prolonged durations. High intensity and duration, yes. Prolonged durations, yes. We know that causes this damage. So you can, as long as, yeah, that's why I try to explain to some people, in exercising, yeah, this is, look, I should keep this because this is important to have. This is a good thing. People might not even understand that. But anyway, yeah. I don't know. This thing is too long to go through. Exercise, inflammation, and aging. Anyway. As far as I know, it causes aging.
What?
Like again, depends on the inflammation and what you're doing will cause aging.
Cancer destroys it. Like, not even close. Weightlifting reduces cancer risk way more than cardio. Way more. Also, people who
Keeps you busy, keeps your body busy, the blood flow stuff, yeah, definitely keeping you busy.
resistance trained who get cancer survive cancer treatments at double the rate that non-lifters do. So if you do get cancer, you're twice as likely to survive the chemo and other stuff they put you through.
Why do you have to take chemo, though, to get rid of the cancer? What made you get the cancer to begin with? It's something that you're doing. It's causing inflammation. Inflammation can cause cancer. That's a known fact, too, right? Right, Blaha? Let's see here. Yes, chronic inflammation can contribute to a development and progression of certain cancers. There you go. It's a known fact people have exercised and gotten cancer. See what I mean?
Strong people are harder to kill. No
Because inflammation, this type of inflammation is damaging.
surprise. We know the pathways by which it does all this, right? It has to do with the effects on insulin sensitivity and glucose disposal. You don't get that same effect from cardio that we do from gaining 10, 15 pounds of muscle. All right.
Yeah, but if you're not eating a bunch of glucose and sugar all day and everything, then you don't need to dispense of it, do you? Right? See what I mean? Eating a natural animal diet, it's not going to cause that.
Bone density, not even in the ballpark. Bone density, reducing osteoporosis, hip fractures, osteoarthritis.
Yeah, if exercise is done properly, but not concentrically, I found out. See what I mean? There's no remodeling effect. It only happens eccentrically. That's another problem. You could still lose bone density. If you're drinking Coca-Cola and you're lifting, you can lose bone density by lifting. You can weaken your bones actually by eating these fake foods and then lifting in the gym. You can literally weaken yourself eating fake food and lifting in a gym.
Weightlifting.
I think there was a guy I knew, I think he got like practically scurvy or something. He was going to the job, he was almost eating nothing. He was working, he was eating some weird stuff, he was deficient in something. I don't know if his hair was falling out or whatever. He got really bad on the job and the doctor told him he had to eat this, and then he got better. So you can eat food and literally lift and get weakened. Yeah.
And wins by like a tenfold.
Look at Richard from Vegan Gains. Look how many injuries he has, surgeries, injuries, and everything. And it's just going to get worse. And he's a young guy because he's a vegan. He says he is. I don't know.
Okay, they're not even in the same realm. The equivalent of a spit wad versus a nuclear bomb, taking down an enemy. In this case, osteoporosis. Where it's, and I'm almost exaggerating, but it's extreme levels of magnitude. Okay, difference between a slingshot and a cannon. How's that? That's a little more accurate. All right, diabetes. Weightlifting wins hands down, reducing diabetes. Cancer, heart disease, diabetes are the number 3 killers in America.
Yeah.
Nothing is even close to those 3. Nothing, including.
Okay, so what's causing them? Diet, food. It's what you're consuming is causing that. These health problems. So how is exercise going to fix your health problem if you're constantly eating the foods that are causing the problems? You have to cut them out and then the problems go away. It has nothing to do with exercise. See what I mean? Like I said, exercise can do certain things, what you call exercise, like eccentric exercise, removing senescent cells, this myogenic decline, a bunch of stuff, okay? The loss of maybe muscle, sarcomeres, yada yada, some mass. See what I mean? That's about it. It's got some benefits there, but that has nothing to do with health.
Homicides, nothing. All right.
Ask yourself, what's making the senescent cells accumulate to begin with? Your diet, your food, your lifestyle, whatever you're doing there.
All of those. So improved Alzheimer's, dementia.
I just saw a video on that avocado guy, Nick Avocado, whatever. He cut out all that fat around his belly. Maybe it's Blaha's turn to get surgery to remove the fat. Why would he get all fat, and then his skin stretched, and now he's going to get surgery for that skin? Man, that just doesn't make any sense. Get fat, eat garbage food, get fat, destroy your body, and then go do surgery and get them to cut your stomach open and remove like the skin and whatever. It's crazy.
All these other things, weight training wins also.
Yeah.
Weight training, it turns out when we look at the totality, weight training is the healthiest single form of exercise that you can do. Not saying you shouldn't do other stuff.
No, it's not. The healthiest thing that you can do for yourself is eat natural food, as natural as possible. That is the healthiest thing that you can do for yourself, and avoid stressful things, lifting, working, all these stressful jobs, stressful people, stressful environments. That's it. That's healthy.
It is should be your primary. If health and fitness is your focus, plus it makes you look better naked.
I don't know that. Plus, I love that one. Plus, it makes you look better. Well, does it make you look better? That's why they have to take steroids, because they want to look better, because they look like shit, these guys. You have to see their before and after pictures. Come on, man. Oh, brother. Blah is funny. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Don't think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. See you in the next video.